Jailed Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny has died in the prison where he was serving his sentence. In a statement, the Federal Penitentiary Service of the Yamalo-Nenets Autonomous District said that Navalny lost consciousness after feeling unwell today. Medical staff were unable to resuscitate Navalny. SABC News Correspondent Dasha Shanishova joins us for an update. Dasha, thank you so much for joining us. Good evening. Look, briefly take us through who Alexei as an opposition leader in government was and what essentially led to his incarceration.
Well, indeed, Alexei Navalny was one of the staunch critics of the Russian authorities, of the Kremlin. He has risen to eminence by publishing the reports into the corruption that has been allegedly committed by the Russian authorities. The videos that have been released on his YouTube channel, as well as some other social media platforms, have been very widely popular among the Russians who have been looking at the lavish richness of the Russian politicians. Many have been saying that that was untrue, that all those publications were wrongful, and obviously the Russian authorities have started to look into the figure of Alexei Navalny, and afterwards Alexei Navalny was found guilty of embezzlement. There have been several convictions on which Alexei Navalny has been eventually serving the prison time. We understand that Alexei Navalny has been found guilty not just of the embezzlement, he was also found guilty of violating parole terms, and afterwards his organization, Anti-Corruption Fund, has been declared a terrorist and an extremist organization and banned inside the Russian Federation, so that all his team had to leave the country as they have been labeled terrorists and extremists. Alexei Navalny was also found guilty on the defamation charges, as well as on contempt of court. But after all, he was serving a very lengthy prison time in several penal colonies in Russia. The previous position for Alexei Navalny was in Vladimir region, but most recently has been transferred to the Yamalo-Nenets Autonomous District, to the Harp village, where he was serving his sentence on the Arctic Circle. Now, we do know from the local authorities here in Russia that Alexei Navalny felt unwell after taking a walk on Friday, and the understanding is that he lost almost immediately consciousness. The paramedics who have arrived to the scene couldn't help him. They have been trying to revive him, according to the statements by the authorities, for about 30 minutes, but that was unsuccessful, and afterwards he was confirmed to be dead. The Kremlin has said that the Russian president is aware of the situation, but suggested that the forensic examination has to be carried out first to look into the reasons of what has happened and to see what has caused Alexei Navalny's death. At the same time, the wife of Alexei Navalny, Yulia, who has been speaking in Munich at the Munich Security Conference, has suggested that she couldn't believe the reports that have been provided so far only by the Russian state news agencies. She said that she would be coming back to Russia to look into what has happened. And some of his lawyers have also been saying that on Wednesday, when there was a meeting between Alexei Navalny and one of his lawyers, he was actually feeling well. On Thursday, he's made his last public appearance by showing up in the video link as he was in the court against the Vladimir penal colony. He was saying that the colony wasn't provided for the good conditions for him, and then he was also feeling fine. So there are many questions as to what happened to Alexei Navalny, as his supporters suggest that his health was not that bad to result in this immediate death.
And Dasha, look, what is the process then in such cases in terms of very high-profile prisoners that die while incarcerated? Will his remains then be taken back to his families? How will this whole process unfold?
Well, first of all, we'll have to wait for the results of the forensic examination, and this is what the Russian authorities insist on, because obviously the public is demanding the answers. There has been a lot of reactions coming from some of the critics of the Russian authorities inside the country. The Nobel laureate Muratov, who has been described and labeled as the foreign agent in the Russian Federation, has said that this is the result of the poor conditions in this penitentiary facility. Obviously, the forensic examination is something that will be shedding the light insight into what has happened. And we also understand from Navalny's side that his lawyers will be going to this Harp village to attend this penal colony to see with their own eyes how this investigation is ongoing. The Kremlin has confirmed that the investigative committee has set up a commission that will be sending its investigators to the scene. And the family of Alexei Navalny, his father, for instance, has said that there is nothing to add that has happened. So obviously now they are looking into the answers. But just to give you also the quick reminder, Alexei Navalny was ill in 2020 when he was allegedly poisoned. The Russian authorities have said that they could not finish the examination of what happened to Alexei Navalny while he was on board of the plane. He was taken then to Germany for the medical services, for the medical treatment. So Alexei Navalny has indeed several issues with his health over the course of his political career, but that's still to be seen when this forensic examination will be providing the results and when the body of Alexei Navalny will be transferred to his family, and whether that will be transferred to his family for the funeral. But we are seeing now in several Russian cities people carrying flowers to the memorials of political prisoners. Those flowers are said to be quickly removed by the communal services, but these are the reports that we are getting from the Telegram channel. So obviously there are many people who say that the actions, that the life of Alexei Navalny were important for the Russian Federation, but obviously there are many questions as to what should happen next.